Hello. Today I would like to talk why the Word of Faith movement is evil and not moral to the eyes of God. Before I speak of this topic, please subscribe and hit the notifications bell. Thank you and God bless. So for your information, Word of Faith, also known as Word Faith or simply Faith, is a worldwide evangelical Christian movement which teaches that Christians can access the power of faith through speech. Its teachings are found on radio, the internet, television, and in many charismatic denominations and communities. The movement renounces poverty and physical suffering as either necessary to a godly life or glorifying Jesus Christ. It teaches that the salvation won by Jesus on the cross included wealth and prosperity for believers. The Word of Faith movement I would rather prefer is the prosperity movement because it revolves around prosperity. That's why I'm going to refer to as prosperity movement. There are such televangelists such as Joyce Meyer, Kenneth Copeland, who is deceased, may God have mercy on his soul, Prince Joseph, and a very famous pastor in America who is number one, Joel Osteen, aka Happy Pastor. I condemn the prosperity movement because they believe in many false teachings, such as having power of faith with the use of words, that believe that every born-again believer is meant to obtain material wealth and riches. And most shocking of all, the belief the Word Faith movement believes that the death of Jesus Christ extends to Christ, giving every born-again believer the ability to obtain the material riches and possessions that one desires. This teaching is what shocks me the most. The Bible says that everything is worth less valuable than the law of Christ, which says it in first letter of Corinthians in first letter of Corinthians 19. In the first letter of Corinthians, the 7th chapter, the 19th verse says, "Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of God is something." Alright, in other versions, they have something that comes after God. So, the prosperity movement also believes we are little gods, or like what Kenneth Copeland says, we're God's little G's. This teaching is simply false and can easily be debunked. In Genesis 3, so it talks about from verse 1 to verse 27 when Adam and Eve sinned, and all of this began when the serpent came to Eve. And the serpent told Eve to eat the apple from the tree which God forbid Adam and Eve to eat from. So then Eve ate it, and so did Adam. And then they were banished from the garden, and they were sent somewhere else to earth. God knows. So in Genesis 3, Adam and Eve committed a sin against God. Besides, a son isn't called a little daddy because he is the son. It is illogical. Kenneth Copeland stated once that the reason God made us was to reproduce himself. That is false. God made us so that we can be fruitful and multiply the earth. Not only that, but because he wanted to have a relationship with us, which is called a covenant, which Adam and Eve broke. So they believe that all what matters are the born-again believers. That is wrong, and I find that to be offensive on a personal level. Making God your slave is pure evil and is offensive to God when God should be glorified and praised. After all, he did liberate us from Satan's power so we won't be slaves of sin, and he did that by giving his son Jesus Christ to die for us. Faith isn't controlled by us because we are sinners. That concept originates from Hinduism and Buddhism, very different from Christianity. So these are the reasons why the prosperity movement is evil and not good. Not to mention, being greedy just makes you sad and unfulfilled, and it is a sin. Thank you. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Thank you and God bless.